So in honor of goalies being very mid this season, I'm going to go ahead and create the greatest goalie of all time. That is right, boys. This is the return of Pekka Pasta here on the Edmonton Oilers, and we are going to go ahead and simulate 10 full seasons with a 99 overall goalie on the Oilers, and we're going to see how good he can be, if he can have great stats, if he can win the Conn Smythe perhaps, how many Stanley Cups he's going to win, how many Vezina trophies will he win. I don't have those answers, but we are going to find that out here in today's video. As the Oilers right now are my favorite to win the Stanley Cup this season, this roster is honestly pretty good. You have maybe the best player of all time in McDavid leading the charge. Also, a guy like Draisaitl is on the roster, and we are going to see how many Stanley Cups we can win with this roster in 10 full years. Before we go ahead and do that, if you guys do enjoy videos like this, make sure you leave a like and subscribe to the channel. Also, turn on notifications so you don't miss a single live stream or video that I put out. Now it is time to see how good Pekka Pasta can be here in NHL 24. Now, obviously, I do know goalies do not simulate very well in this game, and if Pekka Pasta is struggling, I didn't touch the sim engine whatsoever. I didn't put it on low or high, but if it does get a little out of hand, I will lower the shot frequency and the sim engine scoring so we can have the best possible stats that Pekka Pasta can produce. Now, at the end of the season, the Oilers are going to do pretty well. I mean, second in the Pacific, going 48, 29, and 5, 101 points. We would end up finishing as the 7th best team in the entire NHL. Carolina was actually the best, going 60, 17, and 4. Why are the Carolina Hurricanes simulating so well this season? I mean, the Rangers are usually up here, Colorado as well, Toronto is always pretty good, Pittsburgh is kind of surprising. Connor McDavid obviously is going to lead our team only with 29 goals and 71 points. Good job, EA Sports. You have the best, most talented player of all time simulating like a borderline second liner. Leon Draisaitl had 63 and 28 goals. Zach Hyman was up there as well, Bouchard. And for Pekka Pasta, Pekka Pasta played 72 games. He went 41, 27, and 4, only 2 shutouts, but honestly pretty good stats. A 924 save percentage is a lot higher than I see most goalies simulate with. A 252 GAA is, I guess, it's kind of mid, honestly. For the entire NHL, Austin Matthews is going to lead in goals with 71 and points with 124. And for goalies, let's take a look here. Pasta did not lead in wins. That would be Igor Shesterkin with 49. And there's no way we led with shutouts. That would be the guy who shall not be named. He had 7. And in the first round of the playoffs, we are up against the Vancouver Canucks. And just like that, in his very first season in the NHL, Pekka Pasta has led the Edmonton Oilers to a Stanley Cup Finals appearance up against the New York Rangers, who we know simulate very well in this game. So let's see if we can go on and win Pekka Pasta his very first Stanley Cup. And the Edmonton Oilers are going to get it done here in season number 1 over the New York Rangers in Game 7 of the Stanley Cup Finals. Pekka Pasta has led them all this way. And why are my pads? Oh my god, man. I literally customized my pads to be really cool, and they do not even show up here in the game. Great, EA. That's absolutely perfect. Regardless, the Oilers are finally going to go on and win Connor McDavid a Stanley Cup on the back of Pekka Pasta. Wee, there he is. He's rocking that stash. Leon Draisaitl is going to take home the Conn Smythe, 11 goals and 27 points for the German Gretzky. Hissy Leon is going to win his first Conn Smythe of his career, obviously, as the Stanley Cup is about to be raised here in Madison Square Garden. Of course, here is the best hockey player in the world, Mr. Connor McDavid, coming to lift the Stanley Cup for the very first time in his career, as the Oilers have got the job done here in season number 1. It's only taken us 1 year with Pekka Pasta to win the cup, and we got it done. And you already know who he's passing that Stanley Cup off to. It's got to be the man, the myth, the legend. Do not worry, do not fear. Pekka Pasta is here with the Stanley Cup, baby. There it is. The greatest goalie of all time, already making his mark in the NHL. Now, for the playoffs, obviously, Draisaitl is going to lead our team, 11 goals and 27 points. McDavid had 26 and 14 goals. Evan Bouchard had 23 points. Evander Kane had a good playoff run, as well as Ryan Nugent-Hopkins. Now, for Pekka Pasta, he went 16, 6, and 3, no shutouts, and a very okay stats. I mean, they're not great, but they're definitely not terrible either. The goals against is a little high, honestly. Austin Matthews is going to take home all the awards. The Norris is going to go to Erik Karlsson. The Lady Bing to Mitch Marner. The Calder to Connor Bedard. The Conn Smythe, of course, to Leon Draisaitl. Pekka Pasta is going to end up winning the Vezina in his rookie season, so that is 1 on his career. And the Selke is going to go to Ryan O'Reilly. So, obviously, after winning the Stanley Cup, Pekka Pasta is still a 99 overall. We still have a very good roster as well, with McDavid at a 97, Draisaitl's a 95. Zach Hyman's up at an 88. He honestly should be a 90 plus. The dude is going to score 50 goals this season in real life. We also picked up Phil the Thrill Kessel on our third line, 81 overall, but can still pot a few goals here and there. Edmonton yet again is going to end up finishing second in the Pacific as we went 46, 27, and 9, 101 points. For the entire NHL, we would end up being the 8th best team in the entire league. Toronto ended up finishing first with 54 wins. McDavid is finally awoken, 48 goals, 117 points, followed by Draisaitl, who had 99 and 39 goals. Zach Hyman had a pretty good season himself, 26 goals and 84 points. Nugent Hopkins was up there, and now for Pekka Pasta, he went 36, 23, and 7, one shutout and worse stats than last season. I honestly might end up changing the sim engine to make the goals a lot lower, just so we can have the best possible stats for Pekka Pasta in his career. Again, I'm creating the greatest goalie of all time, and that is no easy feat here in NHL 24. The entire NHL, McDavid is going to lead in points with 117, and for goals, it's going to be Austin Matthews yet again. This time he had 65 tucks on the season. Shout out Ovi, had a 60-goal season at age 39, which is absolutely bonkers. And now for the goalies, let's take a look here. We are not going to lead in wins. Pekka Pasta only had 36, which is honestly not a lot, and we're not going to lead in shutouts either. That is going to be Devin Levi and Igor Shesterkin, as they would tie with 5. And in the first round of the playoffs, we are up against the Vegas Golden Knights, who are, I guess, our rival now. In the Pacific Division, there's a heated rivalry between the two teams. So, unfortunately, we would end up losing in the second round in Game 7 to the Vancouver Canucks. They would go on and make the Stanley Cup Finals, but lose to the Toronto Maple Leafs in 5 games. That has got to be very, very embarrassing. Couldn't be me, honestly. For the playoff run, Evander Kane is going to lead our team in goals with 6 and points with 9. Yeah, we are not winning a Stanley Cup. You're not winning a cup if Evander Kane's your leading scorer on your team. McDavid didn't really show up, and Draisaitl definitely did not show up. Only 1 goal in 13 games. Meanwhile, Pekka Pasta went 7-4-1, 1 shutout, and not really the greatest stats, but not terrible either, I guess. Mitch Marner is going to end up taking home the Ted Lindsay and the Hart Trophy. The Art Ross to McDavid, and Maurice Richard to Matthews. The Norris will go to Adam Fox. The Conn Smythe to William Nylander. Igor Shesterkin is going to win the Vezina, and the Selke will go to Alexander Barkov. So, Pekka Pasta has not dropped at all in overalls. I also forgot to mention I loaded this guy up with X Factors. He's got Butterfly Effect, All or Nothing, Contortionist, Instinct, Sponge, and Tip Jar. And for the Edmonton Oilers, did we pick up anybody here? We got this Novak guy in the offseason, 87 overall, should help out our depth. Obviously, McDavid, Hyman, and Draisaitl are our big guns. Defensively, still have Nurse, Ekholm, Bouchard, Pedersen is here. We picked up Ethan Bear again. He's returned home. Honestly, if I could, I would give Pekka Pasta the captaincy, but unfortunately, EA Sports does not make that possible. You cannot give any goaltender the C. Although this one time I did have a glitch where the goalie did have the C on his jersey, but I went into the game and he didn't actually have it, so it was just a glitch. Also, shout out to Elias Pettersson signing his big boy deal with the Vancouver Canucks. 8 years and $11.6 million. I mean, honestly, I never got the rumors why he was going to end up leaving. Vancouver could literally match whatever any other team gave him, and Vancouver knows how good of a player he is. The Oilers are going to end up finishing second yet again for the 3rd season in a row as we went 48, 28, and 6. Leon Draisaitl is going to end up leading our team with 79 points, followed by McDavid, 76. Zach Hyman was up there. Nugent Hopkins, not a lot of goal scoring going on because I did lower it, so I'm not expecting crazy totals. Now for Pekka Pasta, 40, 18, and 5, 10 shutouts, a 936 save percentage, and a 194 GAA. This is what I'm talking about, boys. These are the stats I want to see from my 99 overall goalie. Going to carry the Oilers to another Stanley Cup. Kirill Kaprizov is going to end up leading the entire league in scoring with only 92 points, not even one 100-point scorer in the entire show. And for the goal side, I'm willing to bet it's not a lot, and it's Kaprizov with 42 goals on the season. Now for the goalies are going to be on steroids, dude. Thatcher Demko is going to lead with 43 wins. Aiden Hill had 41, and Pekka Pasta had 40. And for the shutout side, Demko is going to lead with 11, so he actually might end up taking the Vezina. We did have better stats, and in the first round of the playoffs, it is yet again another rematch up against the Vegas Golden Knights, and for some reason we are going to lose in Game 7 of the very first round to the Vegas Golden Knights. They would actually go on and win the Stanley Cup, beating the Devils in 6 games in the finals. So back-to-back seasons of very disappointing playoff runs. Not even a playoff run this year. I'm willing to bet we didn't score much. McDavid only had 3 goals and 6 points. Bouchard had 5. Nugent Hopkins 4. What did Pekka Pasta do? 3, 3, and 1. A 940 save percentage and a 188 GAA. So I mean, Pekka Pasta did his part. Elias Pettersson is going to win the Ted Lindsay and the Hart Trophy. The Art Ross to Kaprizov, as well as the Maurice Richard. The Norris will go to Josh Morrissey. The Conn Smythe to Jack Eichel. Aiden Hill is actually going to steal the Vezina over Demko and Pekka Pasta, and the Selke will go to Alexander Barkov yet again. So Pekka Pasta is still chilling at a 99 overall. Our backup now is no longer Stuart Skinner, but instead Anthony Stolars. And did we pick anybody up here? Still our great first line. We pick up Jake DeBrusk, who's an 85 overall. That's not a bad pickup. Defensively, do we add anybody? We did add Rasmus Anderson, who is an 88 overall, should help out our decor a ton. And hopefully we can make a long playoff run, because I mean the last two playoff runs were not barely even playoff runs. So it looks like the Oilers are always going to end up finishing second in the Pacific, this time going 47, 28, and 7, 101 points. McDavid is going to lead our team with 40 goals and 91 points, followed by Draisaitl's 89, also 38 goals. Zach Hyman was up there. Nugent Hopkins had 52. He was a minus 22 though. Those are some pretty rough stats for RNH. And now for goalies, Pekka Pasta is going to go 39, 19, and 6, 5 shutouts, and honestly, not the greatest stats compared to last season. Austin Matthews is going to lead the entire NHL in scoring with 61 goals and 102 points. And for goalies, Logan Thompson, who is now on Toronto, is going to lead in wins with 43, followed by Hellebuck's 41 and Shesterkin's 40. And on the shutout side, I believe Connor Hellebuck is going to lead with 11, followed by Montembeault, who had 10. I mean, Montembeault is only an 84 overall. Vasi had 10, Schmidt had 9. And in the first round of the playoffs, we are up against the Anaheim Ducks. We are going to end up losing a heartbreaking Game 7 defeat in the conference finals to the Colorado Avalanche, as the New Jersey Devils are going to get it done, getting their revenge as they beat Colorado in 5 games in the finals. Now for the playoffs, Draisaitl is going to lead us with 18 points, followed by McDavid, who had 15. Nugent Hopkins had 14. And for Pekka Pasta, he went 11, 6, and 1. 6 shutouts and amazing stats. I mean, damn near a 950 save percentage. Matthews again is going to take home all the awards. The Norris will go to Quinn Hughes. The Conn Smythe to Jack Hughes, so shout out to the Hughes brothers. Montembeault is going to end up winning the Vezina, and the Selke will go to Dylan Strome from the Washington Capitals. So it does not look like we picked up anybody else in the offseason, at least offensively. Defensively, we did, no, we have the same exact team. Okay, so we are rocking with this team. Hopefully we can get it done just like we did in year number 1. We're in year number 5 now, so I'm getting kind of worried that that is going to be our only Stanley Cup victory of the entire video. So the Oilers are going to have their best regular season of the video, as we went 52, 23, and 7, 111 points. Obviously first in our division and second in the entire NHL, only behind the Toronto Maple Leafs, who had 1 more win than us and 4 more points. David is going to lead our team, 84 points and 35 goals. Leon Draisaitl had 83 points and 38 goals. Zach Hyman had 60 points on the season. Nugent Hopkins was up there. Evan Bouchard had an okay year, I guess. I did adjust the sliders in franchise mode, so people are not going to score a lot. Now for Pekka Pasta, I'm going to go 38, 16, and 6, 4 shutouts, and okay stats, I'd say. And still only 38 wins. I'm not getting a lot of wins, only 4 shutouts on the season. Austin Matthews is going to lead the entire NHL in points with 87, and for goals, it's going to be none other than Alexander Ovechkin. At 42 years old, he's going to score 51 goals on the season. For goalies, Logan Thompson is going to lead in wins with 43, followed by Demko's 39. Shesterkin at 38, and Pekka Pasta had 38 as well. Now on the shutout side, Hellebuck is going to lead with 11, followed by Shesterkin's 10, and Vasi, who also had 10. And in the first round of the playoffs, we are up against the Dallas Stars. Again, we are going to lose in the very first round, this time in 5 games to the Dallas Stars, as the Vegas Golden Knights will go on and defeat the Pittsburgh Penguins in 6 games in the finals. I am slowly losing hope, honestly. I can't believe our best season would literally be the first season of the video. Draisaitl is only going to have 1 goal, but 7 points in the first round. McDavid had 6. Bouchard only had 3. God damn, we did not score a lot at all. And for goalies, Pekka Pasta went 1-3-1, an 893 save percentage, and a 339 GAA. I was absolutely horrible in these 5 games. Logan Thompson is going to take home the Ted Lindsay and the Hart Trophy, as well as the Vezina. Perhaps the greatest goalie season in the history of the game. Meanwhile, the Maurice Richard is going to go to Ovi, the Art Ross to Austin Matthews, the Norris will go to Rasmus Dahlin. Jonathan Marchessault is going to win the Conn Smythe, and the Selke will go to Barkov yet again. Je m'appelle Pasta. I am a 99 overall still. 24 years of age. Our backup is still Veg Melka. Pasta did his thing besides in the playoffs. So far, career stats are not bad, but not great either. Not the greatest goalie of all time at least. Our playoff stats are slightly better, but our last playoff run, I should say, really brings it down. The Oilers are back to finishing second in the Pacific as we go 47, 29, and 5, 100 points. And our leading scorer is going to be Leon Draisaitl with 69 points on the season, also 29 goals. McDavid only had 66 and 34 goals. Warren Fogle was up there at 50, Nugent Hopkins at 48, Novak 41, and Pekka Pasta is going to go 42, 22, and 5. 9 shutouts, a 936 save percentage, and a 181 GAA. That is Vezina worthy, 100%. Trevor Zegras is going to lead the NHL in scoring with 89 points on the season, and for goals, it's going to be none other than Austin Matthews, who had a 50-piece chicken nugget. Pekka Pasta will lead all goalies in wins with 42, followed by Demko is 41, and Vasilevsky, who had 40. And for the shutout side, Demko is going to lead with 14 on the season. Jari had 11, Devin Levi 10, Allmark 10, and Pekka Pasta 9. So maybe we don't end up winning the Vezina. 14 shutouts is insane in a single season, dude. In the first round of the playoffs, we are up against the LA Kings, and we would end up losing to the Florida Panthers in 6 games in the Stanley Cup Finals. We were this close, and we literally choked it away. For the playoff run, I mean, McDavid was very good, 11 goals and 23 points. Draisaitl had 21, but Pekka Pasta 14, 9, and 3, 4 shutouts, a 933 save percentage, and a 201 GAA. Pekka Pasta is going to take home the Ted Lindsay, the Hart Trophy, and the Vezina Trophy as well, while the Maurice Richard will go to Austin Matthews, the Art Ross to Trevor Zegras, the Norris to Quinn Hughes, the Conn Smythe would go to Barkov, and the Selke is going to go to Quinton Byfield. It looks like some of the Oilers have either declined or have left the team entirely. McDavid and Draisaitl are still very good, 97 and 95 overall. The Oilers are going to go ahead and have an amazing regular season as they went 54, 24, and 4, 112 points. We would end up as the 3rd best team in the entire NHL behind the Nashville Predators and the Toronto Maple Leafs, who won 57 games on the season. Connor McDavid is going to lead our team with 38 goals and 87 points. Draisaitl had 76 and 34 goals. Warren Fogle was up there at 58 points. DeBrusk at 47, Novak 42, and then for Pekka Pasta, I went 44, 19, and 3, 6 shutouts, a 931 save percentage, and a 197 GAA. William Nylander is going to lead the entire NHL in scoring with 93 points, and for goals, it's going to be none other than David Pastrnak, who had 48. Yaroslav Askarov is going to have the most wins by a goalie with 48, followed by Pekka Pasta's 44, and now on the shutout side, Tristan Jarry is going to lead with 12 on the season. Askarov had 10, and of course, Pekka Pasta was way down there. I'm not getting as many shutouts as these other goalies. I mean, Tristan Jarry is only an 88 overall, and he's getting consistently like 10 shutouts a season for the past 2 years at least. He had 10 back in 25-26 as well. And in the first round, we are yet again up against the Dallas Stars. Another year, another disappointing playoff run. Not even a playoff run, honestly. We got dominated by Dallas in 6 games in the very first round, as the LA Kings would go on and defeat the Florida Panthers in 6 games to capture their first Stanley Cup since like 2014, I believe. In the playoffs, Pekka Pasta went 2-4-0, a 913 save percentage, and a 268 GAA, so very low, especially for his standards. His standards are a lot higher than this. Nylander is going to take home the Ted Lindsay, the Art Ross and Hart Trophy. The Maurice Richard will go to David Pastrnak. The Norris will go to Vince Dunn, as the Conn Smythe is going to go to Brant Clark. Aiden Hill is going to steal the Vezina from Pekka Pasta, and the Selke will go to Elias Pettersson, who literally just signed his big boy deal. It doesn't look like the Oilers picked up anybody that significant in our roster, at least offensively. Defensively, we do have Mo Seider. How long has he been here, Mo Seider? He's been here for the last 2 seasons. I didn't even notice that he was here. Literally putting up 4 goals and 16 points. He had 1 goal last season in 82 games. That is crazy. The Edmonton Oilers are just barely going to make the playoffs as we went 49, 28, and 5, 103 points. I guess the Pacific was very good this season. Vancouver Canucks were the best team in the entire league, winning 62 games, only losing 15 in regulation and 5 in overtime. Again, Connor McDavid is going to lead our team, 42 goals and 85 points. Draisaitl had 81 and 31 goals. Nugent Hopkins had 68. He's 38 years old now. Warren Fogle was up there. Barbaranoff at 42. Novak 38. He was a -10 though. Now for Pekka Pasta, he went 42, 24, and 3. Only 3 shutouts, and not really the greatest stats, honestly. Even though I'm a 99 overall goaltender, I am not even going to try to pronounce this guy's name, but he's going to end up leading the NHL in goals with 67 and points with 101. Can somebody please in the comments below explain to me how do I even pronounce this guy's name? Wojciech Klepis, there it is. There's my best try at it, I guess. For goalies, Demko is going to lead in wins with 47, followed by Askarov's 46. Pekka Pasta was kind of up there with 42, and on the shutout side, we were not even close as Spencer Knight is going to lead with 12. And in the first round of the playoffs, we are up against the Nashville Predators. And yet again, another first round exit in Game 7, this time to the Nashville Predators, as the Vancouver Canucks go on and beat the Islanders in 5 games in the Stanley Cup Finals. This guy's going to take home all the major individual awards. Quinn Hughes is going to win the Norris, the Conn Smythe to Elias Pettersson, the Vezina to Thatcher Demko, and the Selke will go to Logan Cooley. Looks like we are heading into next season with pretty much the same team. We did pick up Kent Johnson at an 88 overall. Matthew Nyes is now on the roster. Draisaitl has lowered down to a 93 overall. Meanwhile, McDavid is still a 96. Defensively, we are the exact same, and Pekka Pasta is still a 99 overall, baby. 27 years old in the prime of his career. So the Oilers are going to go ahead and have their best regular season of the video so far, going 58, 21, and 3, 119 points at the top of the Pacific and the entire NHL. This might be our last shot at a Stanley Cup. Connor McDavid is going to lead us, 40 goals and 83 points. Draisaitl still had 82 and 32 goals. Kent Johnson had 72 points. Nichushkin had 70. Pekka Pasta is going to go 50, 17, and 2, 8 shutouts, a 933 save percentage, and a 193 GAA. If I do not win the Vezina, I'm literally boycotting this entire game. There's no excuse for me not to win it. Klebis, again, is going to lead the entire NHL in goal scoring with 54 goals and 94 points. Meanwhile, Pekka Pasta is going to lead in wins with 50, followed by Spencer Knight's 46 and Kochekov's 43. On the shutout side, Askarov is going to lead with 13. Logan Thompson had 10, but we should still win the Vezina. I mean, we were up there with 8. In the playoffs, in the very first round, we have the Minnesota Wild. Again, I don't know how many years it has been since we've literally won a playoff series, but again, we're going to lose in the very first round in Game 7 to the Minnesota Wild. Matthews is going to take home the Ted Lindsay and the Hart Trophy. The Art Ross and Maurice Richard are going to go to Klebis. The Norris to Sergachev. The Conn Smythe to Dylan Strome, of all people. Pekka Pasta obviously is going to win the Vezina, and the Selke will go to Connor Bedard of the Chicago Blackhawks. And for the final season of the video, Pekka Pasta is still going to be a 99 overall. Our backup is actually Tristan Jarry, who now is a 78. We are 28 years old in the prime of our career, one last shot at a Stanley Cup, and honestly, I don't really believe this team is good enough to win it. We won one in our very first season, and since then have literally fallen apart. The Oilers, again, are going to have a pretty good regular season, going 51, 27, and 4, second in the Pacific, and for the entire NHL, we would end up being 4th. So we are a good team in the regular season. In the playoffs, we just literally could not get it done. Again, McDavid is going to lead our team, this time with 40 goals and 94 points. Draisaitl actually had more at 43, but only 85 points. Kent Johnson at 58, Nichushkin 58 as well. Pekka Pasta went 42, 21, and 4, 10 shutouts, a 926 save percentage, and a 202 GAA. We might win the Vezina. I mean, we did have a lot of shutouts on the year. Braden Point is going to end up leading the entire NHL in scoring with 97 points, and for the goal side, it was Klebis, who had 54 tucks on the season. Askarov is going to tie for wins alongside Gustafsson. They had one more than me, who had 42. And for the shutout side, Devin Levi is going to lead with 11, followed by Pekka Pasta's 10 and Diego's 10. And in our final playoff run of the video, we are up against the Seattle Kraken in round number 1. And finally, we are back in the Stanley Cup Finals, this time up against the Carolina Hurricanes in our final season. So let's see if Pekka Pasta can lead the Oilers to their second Stanley Cup of his career and of the McDavid era as well. And we got absolutely dominated in 5 games by the Carolina Hurricanes. They bent us over and did exactly what that guy did to your ex-girlfriend. Sorry, that was a little personal. It kind of cuts deep. In the playoffs, Pekka Pasta went 13, 7, and 2, 5 shutouts, a 932 save percentage, and a 203 GAA, so he was not the problem. Again, if we had won it, I probably would have ended up winning the Conn Smythe. Braden Point is going to win the Ted Lindsay, the Art Ross, and the Hart Trophy. Klebis is going to win the Maurice Richard, the Norris to Quinn Hughes. The Conn Smythe is going to go to Svechnikov. Pekka Pasta will win another Vezina, and the Selke is going to go to Robert Thomas. And that is going to do it for this video, boys. We have gone ahead, created the greatest goalie of all time. I'm going to read off his legacy, or resume, I should say, and you guys in the comments below can let me know if he is the GOAT goalie in only 10 years. He has 1 Hart Trophy, 4 Vezina trophies, 1 Stanley Cup, and 1 Ted Lindsay trophy. That is a very good resume for a goalie. Obviously, the playoff success kind of went away. I don't know what else I could do. Maybe I could load up the Oilers with a bunch of 99 overall D-man for like 10 years and see if that helps out our stats and our winning. Let me know in the comments below what you would like to see next. Thank you all for watching, and until next time, don't be silly. Wrap your willy.